In previous lessons, you have learned to populate your test case with test steps. Now it's time to see if your test steps, test cases, and test case folders are working as intended. You can trial run them in the Scratchbook. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to run your test cases in Tosca Scratchbook and effectively see and use the run results. We'll first take a look at what the Scratchbook is and why you would be using it. We'll then switch to practical examples of using the Scratchbook within Tosca, and we'll take a look at where within Tosca you'll use the Scratchbook and how. The Scratchbook is a Tosca built-in capability that allows you to perform trial runs of your test steps and test cases. Such trial runs create only a temporary result. This temporary result is not saved and will be overwritten once you run a new test case or test step in the Scratchbook. Nonetheless, this is particularly helpful when you build a new test case or when you simply want to check if a test step that you've just created is working correctly. This means that you'll use the Scratchbook while working within the test case section in Tosca. You can run the following objects in the Scratchbook: individual test steps, test cases, or test case folders. There are a few ways to use the Scratchbook. The first is to run test objects directly. To do so, right-click on single or multiple folders, test steps, or test cases, and click Run in Scratchbook. Alternatively, after selecting the objects needed, simply press the F6 key. The second way is to run your objects via an already opened Scratchbook. To access the Scratchbook, use the shortcut Ctrl+B or click on the Scratchbook icon. Here, you can add the objects you want to quickly test in any order. To do so, you can drag and drop only the relevant test steps onto the Scratchbook. Then, you can right-click and choose Run, or press F6 to run. If you only run a section of a test case, make sure the SUT is in an appropriate state, for example, already opening the correct web page. After execution, the results will appear in the Scratchbook. If a test step fails, a red X appears next to the step with log info explaining what the error was. When everything runs correctly, the steps are marked with a green checkmark. Within the Scratchbook, you can right-click on a test step, for example, a failed test step, and select Jump to Test Step, or press Ctrl and J to get back to that exact test step. You can call up the Scratchbook at any time. It will show you the results of your last run if you haven't closed Tosca Commander in the meantime. However, as the log is not saved, once you close Tosca Commander, the results will be lost. And that's it for this lesson. You are now able to run your test cases using Tosca's Scratchbook and effectively see and use the run results. Give it a try by completing this exercise.